Imagine life is a video game. Not a complicated one with confusing rules and hidden codes. A simple game that you start playing the moment you become an adult and start earning money. You wake up every day. You go to work. You complete your tasks. You earn coins. That is what life feels like for most people. Wake up, work, earn, spend, repeat. The daily grind. The routine. The cycle. But here is the twist that most people never realize. The game does not reward you for collecting coins. It does not give you points for how many coins you stack up in your wallet. It rewards you for unlocking levels. For progressing to new stages of the game where the rules change and new powers become available. And most people do not even know the levels exist. They have never seen the map. They have never been told that there are thresholds, invisible lines that once crossed, change everything about how money works. So they keep grinding. Fighting small battles every day. Earning coins, spending coins, earning again. They stay on the same level forever, never understanding why the game feels so hard. Meanwhile, someone else, maybe earning less money, quietly unlocks level after level. They cross thresholds that most people never see. And suddenly their life looks completely different. Not because they worked harder. Not because they got lucky. Not because they inherited money or won some lottery. Because they understood something that was never taught in school. They understood that money has levels. And reaching those levels changes everything. My name is Elon, and today I am going to show you the 3 financial levels that quietly separate people who stay stuck from people who build real wealth. These are not secrets. They are not complicated. They are just invisible to most people because no one ever points them out. And once you see these levels, once you understand where they are and what they mean, you will never look at money the same way again. Part 1. Why income lies. We grow up believing a simple story. It is the story our parents told us, that schools reinforced, that culture repeated over and over. More income equals more wealth. If you earn more, you will have more. If you get a raise, you will be better off. If you make 6 figures, you will be rich. But real life keeps proving something strange. Something that does not fit the story. Some high earners feel broke all the time. They make good money, sometimes great money, but they are stressed. They live paycheck to paycheck. They worry about every unexpected expense. They look successful from the outside but feel anxious on the inside. Some average earners feel secure. They make normal money, nothing special, but they sleep well at night. They have savings. They have breathing room. They do not panic when something breaks. Why? What explains this contradiction? Because income is fuel. That is all it is. Fuel for the car. But milestones are destination points. They are the places you are trying to reach. Income tells you how fast you are moving. It tells you how much fuel you have. But it does not tell you whether you are going anywhere. It does not tell you if you are on the right road or just driving in circles. And wealth does not grow smoothly like a perfect graph going up and to the right. That is what the textbooks show, a nice steady line climbing forever. But real life is not like that. Wealth grows like seasons. Long winters where nothing seems to change. Where progress is invisible. Where you feel like you are stuck in place. And then sudden springs where everything blossoms at once. Where growth accelerates and your life looks completely different. Those springs happen at thresholds. At specific points where the game changes. 3 of them. And once you know what they are, you can aim for them on purpose instead of wandering around hoping to get lucky. Part 2. Level 1. Your first money worker. Level 1 is simple to describe but psychologically huge to achieve. It is your first $10,000 invested. Not saved. Not sitting in a bank account earning almost nothing. Invested. Working. Growing. Making money while you sleep. There is a difference between savings and investments that matters more than most people realize. Savings mean your money is resting. It is not doing anything. It is just waiting for you to need it. Investments mean your money is working. It is out there in the economy, earning returns, growing over time. Until you cross this level, wealth feels theoretical. It feels like something other people have, not something that could ever happen to you. You work. You save a little here and there. But growth is invisible. You cannot see progress. You cannot feel momentum. Here is a kid version to make it stick. It is like planting a tiny seed in the ground and staring at the dirt every day. Nothing happens at first. You cannot see anything. The ground just looks like dirt. Day after day after day. And then suddenly one morning, a tiny sprout appears. Something is happening underground that you could not see. Why does $10,000 change everything? Let us do the math so it becomes real. Below 10,000, growth feels small and insignificant. If you have $2,000 invested and it earns 10% in a year, that is $200. $200 is nice. It is a few nice dinners. It is a small treat. It does not feel life-changing. It does not feel like progress. But $10,000 earning 10% is $1,000. $1,000 is real. $1,000 is a month of groceries. It is a vacation. It is an investment account that just paid for something meaningful. And that moment creates a mental shift that changes everything. Wait, I made money without working extra? I did not go to the office for this. I did not stay late. I did not take on more clients. My money just made money by itself. That realization is the ignition point of wealth. It is the moment when investing stops being an abstract concept and starts being a real thing that actually works. Why do most people never reach level 1? Because the early phase feels boring. It feels pointless. It feels like you are putting money into a black hole and nothing is coming back. Slow growth. Invisible progress. Easy to quit. Easy to say, this is not working, I will just spend this instead. I call this the silent valley. It is the period where nothing visible happens. The only bridge across it is automation. Not motivation. Not discipline. Not willpower. Automation. Set up automatic contributions from every paycheck. Make them happen without thinking. Let them run month after month. Because the people who cross level 1 are not stronger than the people who do not. They are not more disciplined or more motivated. They are system-driven. They built a machine that works whether they feel like it or not. Part 3. Level 2. When money starts helping you. Level 2 is $100,000 net worth. This includes your investments, your savings, your home equity, everything you own minus everything you owe. This is where wealth stops feeling like a personal project and starts feeling like a partnership. Like you have a teammate helping you carry the load. Here is a picture to make it real. Below 100,000, you are carrying a heavy piano up a flight of stairs by yourself. Every step is effort. Every step is work. You are doing all the lifting. Money is just sitting there, not helping, just being carried. Above 100,000, money starts grabbing one side of the piano. It starts pulling its own weight. You are still working, still contributing, but you are not alone anymore. Something else is helping. The speed shift that happens at this level is dramatic. The journey to 100,000 feels slow. It feels like it takes forever. You save and invest and wait and nothing seems to happen. But after that, time bends. Things start moving faster. Because returns start stacking on a larger base. 10% of 20,000 is 2,000. 10% of 200,000 is 20,000. The same percentage, completely different results. And eventually, something magical happens. Your yearly investment gains start matching your yearly contributions. Then they exceed them. Then your money is contributing more to your wealth than you are. That is when money becomes a true teammate. But here is the trap at level 2. Hitting 100,000 feels like winning. It feels like you have arrived. It feels like celebration time. So people celebrate with lifestyle upgrades. A better apartment. A nicer car. A more expensive vacation. They feel like they earned it. They feel like they deserve it. Individually, each upgrade seems harmless. Of course you should enjoy your success. Of course you should treat yourself. But collectively, they are expensive. They steal momentum just when momentum is about to accelerate. It is like reaching cruising speed on the highway, finally moving fast, and then pulling the parachute. Everything slows down. The progress stops. Here is the wealth move that separates the people who build from the people who stall. People who build wealth do not celebrate level 2 with spending. They celebrate with acceleration. They slightly increase their contributions. They protect their momentum. They keep their foot on the gas. Because the years right after 100,000 are the most powerful compounding years of your life. This is when the curve starts to bend upward. This is when things get exciting. Do not interrupt that. Do not slow it down. Part 4. Level 3. The freedom ratio. Level 3 is different from the first two. It is not about hitting a specific number. It is about a relationship between two numbers. The first number is your passive income. The money your investments produce without you working. Dividends, interest, gains, all of it. The second number is your baseline expenses. The minimum amount you need to live each month. Not your full lifestyle with all the extras. Just the basics. Food, housing, utilities, transportation, insurance. The stuff you cannot avoid. Financial freedom happens when your passive income covers your baseline expenses. When your money earns enough to pay for the life you need to live. Here is a kid version to make it clear. It is like your piggy bank feeding you instead of you feeding it. You used to put coins in. Now coins come out on their own to buy what you need. Let us make the math simple so it is easy to understand. If your essential expenses are $3,000 per month, that is $36,000 per year. A portfolio around $900,000, invested reasonably and withdrawn carefully, can sustainably produce that amount year after year without running out. Not instantly. Not the day you hit the number. But eventually, over time, as your money grows and your expenses stay controlled. And suddenly, work becomes optional. Not necessarily something you stop doing, but something you choose to do. Something you do because you want to, not because you have to. That is the difference between a job and a life. Here is the hidden variable that nobody talks about. Most people think financial freedom depends entirely on portfolio size. If I just get to 1 million, I will be free. If I just save enough, I will be safe. But freedom actually depends on expenses. Two people with identical portfolios can have completely different freedom levels. The person who needs less money is freer than the person who needs more. It is that simple. Lower expenses equal a shorter path. Every dollar you do not need to spend is a dollar your portfolio does not have to replace. The fastest way to financial freedom is often reducing the number your portfolio must hit, not just increasing your savings. Part 5. Why most people miss level 3. Because expenses rise with income. This is the silent killer of financial freedom. As people earn more, they spend more. They upgrade their lives. They get used to nicer things. They normalize higher costs. And every time expenses rise, the finish line moves. You need a bigger portfolio to cover a bigger life. So even as your savings grow, even as your investments increase, freedom stays distant. It is like running toward a horizon that keeps moving farther away the closer you get. Wealth builders understand this trap. They grow their income over time, sometimes significantly. But they protect their baseline simplicity. They do not let their lifestyle inflate to match every raise. They keep their essential costs low even as their earnings increase. This is not about deprivation. It is not about living like a monk. It is about knowing the difference between baseline and extras. Between what you need and what you want. Between the life you require and the life you enjoy. Part 6. The real story. Let me tell you a story that brings all of this together. A story about two people you might recognize. Person A earns $60,000 a year. Solid income. Nothing fancy. They live in a normal house, drive a normal car, have a normal life. Person B earns $120,000 a year. Twice as much. They look more successful from the outside. Nicer house, nicer car, nicer things. But here is what happens over time. Person A crosses level 1 early. They automate their investments from the beginning. They put money away before they even see it. They cross level 2 steadily, year after year. And they keep their baseline expenses low. They do not upgrade their lifestyle just because they can. Person B delays investing. There is always a reason to wait. They inflate their lifestyle with every raise. Nicer apartment, nicer car, nicer everything. They never calculate their baseline costs. They never think about freedom. 10 years later, their net worths flip expectations completely. Person A has built real wealth. Person B is still living paycheck to paycheck, still stressed, still wondering where it all went. Because wealth is not built on salary. It is not built on how much you earn. It is built on trajectory. On the path you are following. On the levels you are crossing. And trajectory is defined by thresholds. By these 3 invisible lines that change everything. Part 7. The final message. So here is the architecture of wealth. The map you never got in school. The levels you never knew existed. Level 1 is your first money worker. $10,000 invested. The moment your money starts earning money on its own. The ignition point. Level 2 is when money becomes a partner. $100,000 net worth. When returns start to matter. When growth accelerates. Level 3 is when money supports your life. When passive income covers your baseline expenses. When work becomes optional. That is it. 3 levels. Everything else is noise. Everything else is distraction. Everything else is just details. The only question that matters now is this. Which level are you heading toward? And are you moving toward it on purpose, or just hoping to get there by accident? If this video helped you see money differently, if it made the invisible levels visible for the first time, hit subscribe and join this channel. Because most people do not fail financially from bad decisions. They do not lose everything because they are reckless or stupid or unlucky. They fail from invisible ones. From traps they never saw. From levels they never knew existed. And on this channel, we make the invisible visible. We show you what no one else shows you. We help you see the map so you can play the game on purpose instead of wandering around hoping for the best. I will see you in the next video.